in freedom.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
On the St. Barnabas Radio Network. I'm Mike Romai, and every Thursday at this time we sit down with someone who's notable in Beaver County, someone who's doing good for the county. A lot of times they're business people that we like to talk to, see how business is going with them, and today is no different. Our guest this morning is Jim COVERT, and Jim is one of the owners of ZOOKYS Sports Grill down in Falston, Route 51. And just recently, Jim, welcome to the program, first of all. Let me say hi to you.
I appreciate it.
Just recently, I was coming out of Brady's Run, and I saw a sign by the red light that said, "Go around the barrels."
Yeah, we're still open, right?
Yeah, right. So, I mean, since the pandemic, you probably, as a business person, have encountered some roadblocks along the way, and then the hillside collapses, and they want to shut you down again.
Right? That's a big one, yeah. So the road was closed, so we had to let people know. It was eerie. It was like there was no one on 51, right? No cars were going by. It was just silence. You're not used to hearing that. So we had to put some signs up to let everybody know we and
you can make
everybody around us was still open.
Yeah. So did you get traffic after that?
We did, yeah, we did, you know.
Yeah, I thought you were sticking it to the man. I thought maybe PennDOT didn't know you were doing this. And you said, just ignore those cones.
Yeah.
Come see us.
No, yeah. We still got traffic. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. I can't imagine what that would be like as a businessman to just one day wake up, okay, the hillside fell down in this area, but why are you closing it down over here? Because we still need to do business.
Right? Yeah. That's what it was like. It was open one day, and it was after the rain, and then they closed the whole thing down. So it was like, how did that just happen? And then you hear it's going to be closed till the end of May, and actually it opened up a lot quicker than that.
It was fortunate to do that. When that happens, as a business owner, do you have to make a phone call to a state representative or somebody from PennDOT and say, dude, you know, this is killing us. I have employees who are relying on me.
Yeah, you always ask, and they'll give you the diplomatic, you know, answer. They won't. It's roundabout. It's never straight, right?
Right, exactly. Political speech, as we hear it. So tell us a little bit about Jim COVERT. I introduce you, and people are familiar with your uncle.
Oh yeah.
Your namesake, right?
No, not my namesake. No. He was still in college when I was born. So I was born in 1980. So I'm actually named after my great-grandfather on my mother's side. So, yeah. And my grandfather, and my name's James Dominic. But, yeah, I grew up in Baden, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I went
Northern
to
Lights.
Yeah, Northern Lights, right? Yeah. Yep. I went to Ambridge High School. I graduated. I went to Penn State, Beaver campus, and then I went to Geneva. Stayed around, yeah.
Good. And Ambridge, speaking of state representatives, Rob Matzey is out in that direction. He's been a state rep for a number of years in the Ambridge area. Yeah. You went to Ambridge and you wrestled at Ambridge?
I actually wrestled at Quigley.
Quigley,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had a co-op, so yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And you were telling me off the air that you had a relationship with Mr. Driscoll.
Yeah. Mr. Driscoll, I've always known him. He actually was 2 doors down from my grandparents in Conway. My Pap Covert and Grandma Covert. So he was right there down the road. So I knew him growing up, and then he was my wrestling coach. And then one day I was going to school, and he called me and, son, you ever play baseball? And I was like, yeah, coach, in Little League. He was like, I need a baseball coach. Good enough for me. I'll see you Monday. That's just the way he was.
Right.
So I started hitting batting practice and coaching baseball at Quigley High School, his last year there. So, yeah.
That must have been something. And he just passed, what, a week, 10 days ago?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah. Great loss for the community, and especially those folks at Quigley. What was he there, 28 years or something like that?
Basically built the school, and built the fields, you know, it was everything there, I guess.
Yeah. And as a coach, a wrestling coach, and he's baseball coach, football coach, a jack of all trades, really down there. Yeah. Somebody who knows all the sports.
Absolutely, he was.
What did you learn from those times, those days at Quigley, Ambridge, Penn State Beaver, and Geneva?
You know, I enjoyed my time at Ambridge. I always liked it there. You know, I liked the cultures at Ambridge. There was multiple cultures. I always enjoyed that. Right? It wasn't one.
How many churches? Multiple. I think they got more churches than any place else.
I enjoyed that. You know, and I got a lot from, you know, how to be an example from Coach Driscoll when I coached. You know, so I got a lot from that. I picked something up everywhere along that way.
Yeah. That's interesting, because I'm listening to you talk. You're a soft-spoken guy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, he's a coach too. I can't imagine you ever say, "You missed second base."
Yeah, right.
Get that glove down on the ground.
Don't tell I might be. I guess I'm soft now, but I'm probably one of the loudest human beings when I'm coaching. Yeah, I'm known for it. So I'm loud. You hear me across the gym. Yeah.
So if we talk to some of your former players, they let us know.
Oh yeah. I'm loud. They know it. Yeah.
19. Go ahead.
Yeah, they can hear me above everybody else. Yeah, I'm loud.
1980 in Ambridge, Nationality Days was still going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there was a lot of activity in Ambridge back on those days along Merchant Street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that probably part of your stomping grounds growing up.
Yeah.
Have a favorite restaurant down there?
You know, we always went to Rook's. You remember Rook's?
I remember Rook's Seaside Tavern.
Yeah, they had the steak salads back then.
Yeah.
You know, you always have. I still, you know, I moved out of the area about 5 years ago, and we still come down for pizza, right? You can't beat Frank's Pizza. You can't beat Police Station. Yeah, we call it the best pizza in Pittsburgh. I love it. Right? I'm born in Ambridge, so I'm partial, but my wife's she was born and bred in Beaver, and she loves it as well. Okay. So,
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a Pizza Joe's in Beaver, but I don't know if there's a standalone independent pizza shop in Beaver.
Not like those two unique styles in Ambridge. Yeah.
So when you get hankering for a pizza, you're going back to Ambridge for it.
You're right. Yep.
Your years at Geneva, what did you do there?
I actually studied when I went to Geneva, I studied elementary education. So it was good. I went there for 2 years, and then I actually went back to Penn State Beaver to get a business degree. Okay. But it was good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm always fascinated, although I shouldn't be. I grew up in Beaver Falls, so I've always known of Geneva. Yeah. But it's always fascinating for me to talk with people, and they all say, I went to Geneva. Yeah. So it's a good school, and it's turning out a lot of great people.
Yeah, it was a great school. You know what I mean? It teaches you a lot of things. It's a pretty disciplined school. You know what I mean? From that standpoint.
Yeah, and you could probably commute, right?
Yeah, I could commute. Yep.
Yeah, very good. Yep. And in terms of getting your business degree, is that something that you always wanted to do, get into business?
No, it just came about that way. I've done a bunch of things in my life, right? I started out, I worked summers construction in high school, when I did that through college. I worked at Champ Sports through college.
Sports.
Yeah, at the mall,
Beaver Valley
right?
Mall, yeah.
It's not there anymore.
No, nothing's there.
I was in the first store, not the second. Okay. I was in both stores, actually. But, I worked there through college, and I ended up plastering. We plastered homes all basically in Swickley. You ever see Nacito's house in the top of Swickley? It's like a $30 million home.
Is that right?
It's huge. Yeah, it's the biggest house on the East Coast, bigger than the Vanderbilt. Wow. And if you haven't seen it, drive past it. It's huge. And we did that for like 5 years, but it was, plastering's a dying breed in 2000.
It sure is. Yeah. Yeah, so we're not talking about drywalling.
No, we're talking about plastering.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mount Lebanon, Swickley, that's basically where we did work.
Yeah. Do you find a lot of people looking more so for plastering instead of drywalling?
No, only in high end.
Oh,
it's double the price.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why.
But it adds something, to the estate, I guess, if we're talking about it that way.
Yep.
Yeah. And so your family, you mentioned a wife.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you still live local?
Yeah, no, actually, yeah. We lived in Economy.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we actually had 2 houses we lived in. I flipped houses. So
Oh, okay.
I lived.
And you've been doing a lot.
Yeah, a jack of all trades,
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Right.
You got to keep yourself busy.
Right.
So we moved into one. We lived there for 5. I bought it before I met her, but then we lived there for 5 years. We sold it. We moved 3 doors down.
Okay.
Redid that one.
Yeah.
And then I had my real estate license.
Damn.
And
Listen to this guy.
We went out to, my friend had his real estate license,
Mm-hmm.
and we went out to, I wanted to buy a house and land in New Swickley because I coached there for so long. I coached at Freedom for 17 years, wrestling. And he said, you want some land and you want a house that you can redo, don't ever cry to me again. And we went that day. And it wasn't lived in for 2 years, and it had black mold all through it. And he took all the doors and windows. He took all the doors, all the vanities, everything out of it.
Yeah.
And there's animals in it. They rode their dirt bikes in it, but it came with a bunch of land. And I live, it's Mars School District, so I live there now, all the way on the other side of Route 8. Led me there, yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That must have been something. It was an old abandoned farmhouse.
No, it was actually a newer house. He was a contractor. It was built in 2000. It was all brick, but he fell on hard times, and it was a divorce, and he lost the house to foreclosure. And what the banks do, they like to keep it on their books for tax purposes for a couple years, so they let them sit. And, for write-offs, banks are smart. And you can get them for a lot cheaper then.
Man, we should do a business show with you.
Ah,
Like
yeah.
you know a lot about that kind of stuff. Now they're doing some kind of developments out in New Swickley, so that's going to change
They are,
everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is anything close to your home?
No, the developments. Oh, my home. I'm all the way. Yeah, I'm in Mars, so they're everywhere. Yeah, there's. I live in Middlesex Township, and there's 9 planned developments in my township alone.
Wow, so it's going to be expanding.
It's expanding,
changing everything.
Yep.
Interesting. And so you, business degree, real estate license, wrestling coach, and business owner of ZOOKYS Tavern. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with ZOOKYS Sports Grill. You were telling me earlier because you like to watch the Bears games.
Yeah, when I first went there. Yeah, I first went there. My uncle played for the Bears, so I was always a big Bears fan. Mm-hmm. And when I turned 21, I started to go to ZOOKYS. They had the NFL ticket. Back in 2001, no one had the NFL ticket. ZOOKYS had the ticket. There was no Buffalo Wild Wings. We went there, right? So we went there, and it was so the bartender, she would have my TV set for the Bears every weekend. She knew me. She was awesome. Her name was Colleen. She would always have that ready for me, and I'd watch the Bears every weekend. I'd go to ZOOKYS.
Is Colleen still working down there?
No, she was there for a long time, but she is not. Sadly, because she was good. I liked
her. You came walking through the doors, and she said, "Jim's here. Turn on the Bears game."
Turn on the Bears game. She was awesome. Yeah.
So cool. So not a Steelers fan. You grew up a Bears fan.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and obviously, but that was before your uncle played for them, right?
Yeah. Bears fan? No, when? So I would always take trips out to Chicago, and I got to go to training camp with my cousin's 2 months older than me, one of his sons. So I was out there a lot. Every summer I'd go out and spend time out there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty fun.
We were my wife and I at a yard sale last weekend, and we saw Beaver Falls black and orange and black, and she saw a hat. It was orange, and she said, "Is this you want this?" And I looked at it. I said, "No." I said, "That's a bear's hat. That's a bear on the front of it. That's not a tiger." She said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, and it's kind of blue. It's not black."
Yeah, it's really dark blue. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, great. And so tell us, well, let me take the first break, and then we'll come back talking with Jim Covert. How many owners at ZOOKYS?
There's me. We have a business partner and my wife.
Oh, okay. Very good. So we'll continue our conversation and find out all about ZOOKYS. I was just there last Saturday as well. So we'll continue our conversation here on Beaver County Radio. It's the best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
Oh my goodness, Amy, it's so good to see you.
Jennifer, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Is your mom doing any better?
Thank you for asking. I don't know if I can answer without being emotional. I'm sorry. I'm just tired and worried. I can't always be there for her, and it's so stressful.
I really understand. That's how I was with my dad. I'd recommend calling St. Barnabas. We did. We started with just having them come in for home care. He was so excited to see them show up. And when he needed more, we were able to move him in at Beaver Meadows, where he still has his own home-like space and excellent care.
Thanks for telling me that. I don't even know how to start, but I have to do something.
Oh, you can just give St. Barnabas a call. They have directors that can explain how it all works. Trust me, you'll feel so much better, and so will your mom.
I'm so glad I ran into you.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700 for care apart from the ordinary.
It's the best of Beaver County. It's the St. Barnabas Radio Network. I'm Mike Romai. Our guest is Jim COVERT, who we're finding out in 15 minutes his life story, and he has quite a story to tell for a young man. He is one of the owners of, you have a business manager, you and your wife, you own ZOOKYS for all intents and purposes.
Yes.
That's your place.
Yes.
When did you buy it?
It's been about 2 years.
That's it?
Yeah, it's only been 2 years, yeah.
Okay, so we're going back almost COVID times, right? 2 years ago.
Almost, yeah.
We were getting past it at
right
that time.
after, yep.
Yeah.
2022, right after COVID, yep.
Yeah. So as far as ZOOKYS is concerned, by going there and watching the Bears games, that's what you kind of had a soft spot for.
It did, yeah. I did, yeah.
And how did you decide? I mean, that's a pretty big venture.
Oh, it is. So we, me, my wife, and our business partner, Matt Cook is his name, we were on a three-way phone call. I was somewhere, she was somewhere, he was somewhere, and we put on a golf outing every year for our friend that had cancer. We did it for 2 years, and it was our mutual best friend, and we were all on the phone together, and Matt knew the previous owners. And
did Matt go to Ambridge or
Matt went to Freedom?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Did you coach him in?
No, he played hockey. He's
okay.
a hockey guy. Yeah, he still plays hockey.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So we were all on the phone together, and he's like, "You guys want to buy ZOOKYS with me?" And that's how it all happened. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
No drinks involved at that time?
No drinks involved. No,
Yeah.
It was the middle of the day on a weekday. No drinks involved.
Yeah.
No.
And so he found it. The previous owners, they were ready to give it up?
Yeah. They actually moved to Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they were ready to retire.
They were ready to go. Yeah, her husband took a job down there. He heads a union electrical company down there. Yeah, so they put a new facility down there, and he heads that facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So just like that.
Just like that.
The
That's
wife
how
was
it
on
happened.
board?
Yeah, my wife worked there as a kid. So
okay.
I say as a kid when she was 18.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Going through college,
Sure.
she worked there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And you used to drink there.
Yeah, it was crazy. We never thought it would happen, but it did.
Was she ever there when you were there watching the Bears games?
No,
No?
never. No,
Not that?
no.
How did you guys meet?
We met at a wedding.
Okay.
Through a mutual friend. I was telling those guys earlier, it was like 5 degrees of separation. So my friend, where I met her at the wedding, I introduced his wife at ZOOKYS. She was a waitress at ZOOKYS.
Wow.
So we were at ZOOKYS. I introduced him.
Yeah.
And then I met my wife
Okay.
at his wedding, which
Yeah.
I was in. And now we're together, and we bought ZOOKYS. He reminds me of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I remember.
I'm the reason you're together.
Yeah.
That's great. And what was it about ZOOKYS that you like? Because Beaver County's filled with bars. You come from
Sure.
Ambridge or any place else. There's a lot of bars around. Why ZOOKYS?
ZOOKYS is a sports bar, right? That's what always I'm a big sports guy. I played sports. I love sports. I love to watch sports. I love the competitiveness about sports. Me and my wife are super competitive, whether it's Monopoly. My kids are the same way. Or
How many
whether
kids you have?
we have two
Okay.
boys, 8 and 11.
Great.
Yeah. So we're super competitive, and I like it. I like the sports atmosphere. You know, I like the family atmosphere that ZOOKYS brings. You can bring your kids in, and I just like it's a little different than most places.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. Are you the guy who, the kids are playing Monopoly with you, and they don't want to have to pay up? They land on a particular property, and they're saying, "Come on, Dad, let me. I know I want to back up one." You said, "No, you got to do."
Oh yeah, we're playing by the rules. Yeah, I don't let them win at nothing. No.
Get
I've
out
never
of jail
gave them
card
anything.
for you.
No way. That's the truth.
Yeah, and ZOOKYS is unique in that respect, and always has been. Now you've expanded it; it's been expanded over the years. And as I mentioned, I was there last Saturday night. Love your fish.
Oh,
I know
thank you.
You're famous for wings. Yeah, world famous wings. But I was there with my sisters and my wife, and we got a bunch of different things. I love the pretzels too.
Yeah,
soft pretzels. But you just. You have a lot of wait staff. It's not as if there's, you're going to sit there for half an hour, wait for somebody to come up and ask you what you want.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we have a system there. It's different from other restaurants as well. They share tips, so they all help each other out. If you've paid attention, you're not going to have one certain waitress. They're all going to. Yeah. They have a certain area, but if they get in trouble, they help each other out, which is nice.
And so they like that? Waitresses like that?
You know what? At first, a lot of them don't. Right. You're not going to want that because you're going to rely on someone else to make your money. But then they figure out you don't need as many girls because they're backing each other up. So they're going to make more money. Yeah. So they end up making more money.
Yeah. Yes. So if I come in like we did with the group of 7, we're sitting out on the patio.
Yep.
Got a band playing, country band playing out there. And I have a niece. I told you earlier, my niece works there. And so if she's waiting on our table, then if we're going to tip her big time, because there's 7 relatives there, she's going to share that. So she
shares that. Yeah.
And that helps out because some waitresses, I suppose, don't get the same size table or
it's a crapshoot from night to night what kind of table you're going to get, what kind of tippers, so it evens itself out for them, so it's more consistent for those people we have a lot of people like your niece that rely on that on a daily basis. They rely on that to feed their families.
And cold beer.
Right?
Yeah. Is that something that, as a manager, as the owner, do you sneak in from time to time, see what's going on, or are you pretty much announced when Jim's coming in and be on our best behavior today?
No, that's Matt's job, right?
Okay.
He lives right in Brighton Township, right on the hill, about 3 minutes away. No, I'm usually there. I get there early in the morning, so I'm usually there early, anywhere from 7 to 8, and then I'll stay till 5.
Okay.
Or 6, or Thursdays is my long day, and then every other weekend, I'll be there. Like this weekend, I pulled 2 14-hour days. I'll get there early, I'll clean, and then I'll stay through the dinner rush.
Okay.
And then I'll leave. Yeah, so I'll do that, but. That was more in the beginning too, more time.
I'm thinking here. I'm thinking you're the owner. Why you doing the cleanup stuff?
I know, right? You got to, every once in a while you got to, right?
Yeah.
You got to. So I want to understand every aspect of the business. So you got to get your hands dirty to understand what's going on. So that's why, yeah.
What do you think is the secret to success? Because again, ZOOKYS is a successful sports bar, and crowds, patrons are fickle sometimes. Something happens and they decide they're not coming back there anymore. What is the secret to keeping people happy?
You can't please everyone, right? So one person wants their wings extra crispy, and then you get another person that says their wings are overdone, right? And it's like it's in the same night, right? And they're not crispy enough, and they're too crispy. So you have to stay consistent. That's the main thing you have to do, right? It's the consistency and it's not easy, Our main girl has been there 18 years, so that helps.
Okay.
Our main cook in the day, she's been there 18 years, and we have good people in the back. Your staff is what's most important, right? Because they're dealing with the public more than you are. And if they're consistent and your customer knows they can rely on them and they're quick to get them a drink, or their food's always the same, that's priority number one.
And I saw when the Hillside went down and they closed 51 in Falston for a while, you kept the people on the payroll. I saw pictures on social media showing girls who were cleaning up.
Oh yeah,
throughout the day. They weren't waiting tables, but you had them still working.
Yeah, we tried to keep it going. Let everyone know we were still open, but we're keeping everyone going. You know, a lot of them girls rely on that. We have, I think I want to say 43 or 44 employees. So right? It's a lot. Yeah.
Right, and they're all busy.
They're all busy. That. Oh yeah, they're all busy.
How's that patio work out for you?
It works good. It works good. Yeah, it's actually, I was telling the guys earlier this morning on your other radio, it's actually the same exact size as our indoor.
Okay.
So,
is that right?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
Yep.
Because you have that, what is it, the hockey game in the middle of it?
That's in the inside.
Yeah.
There's 75 seats in the inside and roughly 75 outside as well.
Fascinating. Yeah. And you have pictures on the wall. Being a big sports aficionado as you are, do you ever think about being a Bears fan or NFL teams or anything like that? Or do you not want, you have a unique kind of setting there and you don't want to disturb that?
The unique setting, I don't want to disturb it. It's really, it's the TVs, right? There's 50 TVs. There's so many TVs, so there's not much wall space for anything else. And I like how it's simple, right? I'm a real aesthetic guy. I always tell people, the beer reps want to put their beer signs on the wall on my specials. I rip them down if I don't like where they're at. I like it. I like it to look clean, right? I like it to look nice and clean.
And you, the TVs are set to a bunch of different sports. They're not all 50 on the same sport. You can watch a hockey game. There's, I remember spring training games were up there, football games. Yeah. All over the place. Yeah. Different ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you allow people to say, hey, change that channel?
Yeah. All the time. Especially in football season. Everybody has a game like me back in the day, so I have to be cognizant of that, right? So there's a bunch of patrons that come in, they want a certain game on, we'll have a certain game on, they'll want another game on, so you'll have to switch it. It happens all the time.
So you decided to buy, you made an investment, you and your wife, your business partner, in ZOOKYS. Did you change it that much after the original owners?
No. Why change something that isn't broke? That's what we went for. So you buy a business like ZOOKYS that was made over 20 some years, you don't want to change that recipe that made it what it is. That's what we were buying. So we wanted to stick with that, and we really relied heavily on employee influence to keep that running the way it has been, on employees. So
you get a good lunch crowd?
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. Yeah, we get a good lunch crowd. Yeah.
Very good. Now, going forward, in terms of, you've mentioned a couple of times our sister station, which is the Beaver. Yeah. Plays classic rock and classic country. Yeah. You were down there earlier this morning because you guys are going to do something together.
Yeah. They're actually going to do a show from my place next Wednesday, 5 to 7. They're coming down to give some free tickets away, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're doing more or less a live broadcast from there, and they're taking requests and things like that. How involved are you in the community? Because we were talking earlier, and I know a friend of mine, Steve Higgins from the Bruno Foundation, and I know you've helped them out in the past. I look at some of the paraphernalia in your sports grill, and I see some local sports teams on there as well. Yeah. How important is that?
It's important, right? We always try to help the local teams out, right? That's priority number one, whether it's, Beaver baseball. Some we help out more, you know what I mean? We try to help them all out. Or hockey. We have hockey teams. Chippewa. I mean, you name it. It's golf outings. We did a golf outing for the Knights of Columbus for McGuire Homes, and we just did one with Children's Hospital with one of our waitresses. So it was pretty cool,
So I guess one thing people don't realize about being a business person, a small business person, is somebody's always asking you for something.
Oh, I got 3 today already. Yep, 3 people asked for a donation today. Yeah, no one knows, no one realizes that, but there's a lot.
Yeah, and then if you say, well, I can't do it this time.
I can't do that
then
one,
they
don't understand.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And music, is that something new that you've brought to the ZOOKYS?
Yeah, the music is usually the same, right? Oh, the music.
Live music.
Yeah. No, they did it. I kind of, the only thing I did was it was more 1 or 2 piece band, and you were there this weekend.
Right.
It's bigger. They're bigger full bands.
Oh, yeah.
I like the full bands.
Yeah.
You know, they bring in a nice crowd. It's nice. You know, we put them out on the patio and utilize that space out there by the fire pits, turn them on. It's a pretty cool scene.
Oh, those fire pits are nice on a chilly evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Jim Covert is our guest. He is the owner of ZOOKYS Sports Grill in Falston on Route 51. People can go to your website and find out more information about it. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
All that stuff going on. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to get to know you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
ZOOKYS Sports Bar. Jim Covert, our guest on the Best of Beaver County. I'm Mike Romai. We'll talk next week on Beaver County Radio.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County. St. Barnabas is pleased to have provided content and sponsorship for the program. Tune in this Sunday at 11:30 for an encore presentation of today's program.